Welcome to Laid Back Languages, a natural, relaxed approach to language learning. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Laid Back English. My name is Pat and I am here with...
Me, Karen, his mum.
Why do you say that every time? His mum, they know. I know you're proud.
Yeah, I am proud.
You're proud
I
every
am
time.
proud.
His mummy.
Yes.
In today's episode, what are we going to talk about, Mum?
We're going to talk about the weather. Very British thing to do. Talk about the weather.
I know, it seems really boring.
But everybody, when you walk down the street, people will always comment on the weather. People you don't know, strangers, go, oh, it's blooming cold today, isn't it?
Yes, they do. Everyone loves talking about the weather.
We do.
Yes. Why is that? Probably because it changes so much or so frequently.
Yeah, I guess so. And you have to keep changing your clothes according to the weather.
Yeah.
Everyone has different outfits for the weather.
Here in England we're talking about, guys. We're in England. It changes. 1 minute it might be sunny. No, that's a lie. 1 minute it might be raining. The next minute it might not be raining. It's normally quite rainy here.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, we're going to talk about the weather and we're going to give you guys some useful expressions that we say, different ways you can describe the weather. Instead of just saying, oh, it is cold, it is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, we'll give you some more phrases that we just use generally in England, chatting about the weather.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Cold. What would you use, Mum?
Well, if the weather is really, really cold, you'd go, oh, it's freezing today, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what you could say. It's freezing. And to freeze, what does that mean?
Well, to freeze is to go below 0 degrees Celsius. However, we just use that as a term to say it's cold. It doesn't actually have to be freezing cold.
No, we exaggerate.
Very much.
Yeah, freezing, you could say that, yeah. It's freezing.
Yeah. That could be freezing on a summer's day and it's still quite warm.
Yeah, it depends really.
Yeah.
But it's a way we used to say it's cold.
Yeah.
Frosty is another one we've written down.
Well, frosty is an actual thing. It's when there's ice on the windows and the ground, and there's ice on the trees. Sometimes you get it on the trees and the fences, and that's frosty. And that's made by Jack Frost.
Oh, God. All right, explain who Jack Frost is.
Okay, so I don't know why. I don't really know who Jack Frost is, but we were all brought up to say, you open the curtains in the morning and there's frost everywhere, that little thin layer of ice, and you go, oh, Jack Frost has been to last night and made the frost. I have no idea.
I thought it was something religious,
Oh, I don't think it's religious.
No?
No, there probably is a story, but I never got told it.
No.
We just said Jack Frost has been.
Yeah.
Putting his icy fingers everywhere.
Oh, okay. So icy is another word we can use to describe. Would you use it? Would you ever say, "Oh, it's icy outside"? To describe the weather.
You might say, "Go careful outside. It's icy."
Ah, so you'd be describing like the roads.
It's the condition. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can have something you could say, "Oh, I feel icy cold." Which isn't directly weather connected, but generally, I guess, in this country it would be.
Yeah, that's another good one. I feel icy cold. Yeah. Okay, and what about an expression? An expression that before we started recording, you told me, and I had never heard, about a brass monkey.
Yes. That's a little tiny bit rude. But yes, you could say, oh, it's a bit brass monkeys out there. Or you'd say, you could freeze the nuts off a brass monkey. Because a brass monkey, brass is a metal, so it's naturally already cold.
Sure.
If it was a boy one, his bits would be really cold.
Yeah, his bits meaning his nuts, meaning his testicles. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so if it's really, really cold, it'd be extremely cold, and you could freeze his nuts off.
Okay, that's a nice expression.
There you go. That's quite an old saying.
Yeah, it is, because I wouldn't say that. I would just say...
Well, I don't think you say it very often.
No.
It's a bit rude.
I would say I'm freezing. Okay, I feel a bit cold. Let's talk about hot weather.
Okay, yes.
Hot weather. Obviously, at school, these are obviously foreign people, yeah? So they're going to be taught to say, oh, it's hot.
Yeah.
If it's hot in England, we make the most of it. We exaggerate it. We talk about it. We don't say it's hot.
No, we say it's scorching.
It's scorching.
Or it's boiling.
And that could be at like 20
20
degrees.
20.
20 degrees Celsius for us is hot. It's boiling. It's scorching. Okay, so boil. To boil, explain that verb.
To boil is when you make water boils at 100 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's when you make water really hot and then you have lots of the bubbles start to come. Mm-hmm. That's to boil. And then scorch. Scorch is like
scorch
burn.
is actually to burn,
Yeah. Scorch is to burn.
But when we use it about the weather, it's just to say that it's really hot. I guess you're implying that it's so hot it'll burn your skin.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
much. But then for English people, a lot of them, first bit of sunshine, they're out there burning their skin anyway.
Yeah, you've got to.
Mad.
You've got to have something to show for it.
Yeah.
And baking's another way of
if
saying
you're
it.
baking, you're really, really hot.
Oh, it's baking. I'm baking.
Means you're a bit sweaty.
Yeah, sweaty. Or you like transpire, you sweat.
Yes.
I can't think of any more for hot. That's quite good.
No.
Rainy. I don't know if you guys can hear, but we've been inspired by this lovely weather we're having at the moment to talk about the weather here in the UK, and
it's pouring.
Pouring. Very good. Explain
it's
pouring.
Pouring is when it's raining really, really heavily. So you can't see the raindrops. It's just like someone's pouring a jug of water on you.
Yeah.
It's pouring.
Yeah. It's pouring.
It's also when it's pouring, quite often people will say another old-fashioned saying, raining cats and dogs.
Yeah.
No
Classic.
idea why we say that.
No, me neither.
But, there must be an very old saying. But, raining cats and dogs, that means it's pouring.
Yeah.
And if it's more than pouring, it's torrential.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really heavy rain.
Yeah, there are kind of levels to it, aren't there?
Yeah,
now I think about it.
Are.
So you can say it's pouring when it's heavy rain, when it's torrential.
Yeah,
I would describe the weather now as torrential.
Definitely torrential.
It's torrential. Probably because it's windy as well. It's kind of...
Well, the rain is very heavy.
It's heavy rain.
A lot of it.
What about when it's just raining a little bit?
Well, you can either have that really fine rain, which is almost like if you stand at the bottom of a waterfall and it's the spray that comes off it that's really light. Or if it's a bit heavy but not really raining much, it could either be spitting or drizzling.
Oh yeah, drizzling is another one.
Well, spitting is just an occasional raindrop falling.
Yeah. And
drizzling when there's a bit more than the occasional. Drizzling is more than spitting.
Yeah,
it's very complicated when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I might need to make some kind of graphic or something to show people.
To put these all in order.
Yeah, there must be a scale.
It's obviously very important in the UK, the rain. We have so many words for it.
Language is cultural, of course.
Yeah.
We've got so many more expressions for like the rain than we do for the heat.
Definitely, don't we? And the cold, I guess, too. But the rain is definitely the one we have most expressions for when you look at it like that.
Definitely. Yeah. So I think that's probably enough. There are lots of let's explain spitting. So like you said, spitting to rain a little bit, just a couple of occasional drops, which comes from the verb to spit, which is when, oh God. Okay, you know what a camel is? That's what camels do. Camels spit. It's like when the water comes out from their mouth.
That's spitting.
That's to spit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So spitting is when like the sky is spitting.
Yeah.
Just the occasional raindrop.
Yeah.
Cool. And then last,
Windy.
and probably least, because it's
Yeah,
wind, isn't it?
Yeah, wind is, yeah.
We don't have many expressions for the wind.
Well, we could say, people say it's blowing a gale.
It's blowing a gale, yeah.
Yeah, because a gale is an actual strength of the wind.
Uh-huh.
And people will say it's blowing a hoolie.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's when it's really windy.
I would never say that.
Oh, that's quite common.
It's blowing a hoolie.
I think that comes from Ireland, probably, or Scotland.
Well, it's windy there.
Mm.
Up in Scotland and in Ireland too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could say it's howling. That's quite descriptive, because that's like when the wind is blowing and it blows around the buildings, it does actually howl.
So you have to explain howl to howl.
To howl is the noise that animals generally make.
Yeah, like a wolf or a dog would howl.
Oh, like that.
Like that, I knew you
I
were
knew
going
you'd
to do
maybe.
it.
Couldn't resist.
It's fine, it's what I have you on for, Mum.
The comedy fact.
Of course.
Great.
Wicked. Well, that's the weather, guys. I hope you found that useful.
Mm-hmm.
And
if not too confusing.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah. It'll be jolly useful if you come to the UK.
Definitely. It will be extremely useful.
It will be.
Wonderful. Right. Thank you, Mum.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Bye.